have the option of, as Barry said, putting up resistance. And I encourage individuals to move themselves behaviorally from a position of collaboration to a position of resistance. In my family, there is a very strong pattern of diabetes. My mother, my maternal aunt, my sister, who's just a few years older than I am. And so I decided some time ago that I was going to behave as if I were a diabetic. I do test annually. So far I have not converted. I was a jogger, not a fast runner, but a pretty regular jogger since I was much younger. Eventually doing about 4 miles whenever I did it. And I try to get out there most mornings, most days. I have been walking ever since pretty much 5 of every 7 days, about 4 miles when I do it. I cut back on those foods that we love in the Caribbean. The big bread, all the flour products, roti, wraps. I almost never eat those. I don't eat rice. I say I don't eat rice, and then you might see me eating a peas and rice. So it's not like I don't ever, but I don't eat rice. So on the odd occasion when I eat a peas and rice, it doesn't bother me because for the previous several months I would not have had any rice. So I cut those things out. I replace them with a significant amount of vegetables and fruit. But I don't think anything, if it is not poisonous, in very low amounts will harm you. So alcohol, I have been a traditional Caribbean man in my youth. I drank excessively. I'm grateful that I managed to survive that reckless period. These days I measure my drinking, when I drink, by 2 drinks of any kind per day. At the most 3. And I try not to do it every day, but I drink moderately, and 2 a day. And for women it's actually less, it should be 1. I know at one time I had a high cholesterol reading, and I started using Quaker oats or oats every day. So now, and I do that with fruit and nuts, no milk, just water, because now I'm doing, I blend it and have that for breakfast. But I eat oats, fruit and nuts. And it's filling, it's healthy. There is the odd occasion when I decide that I've had too much to drink. There may be a time when I visit someone or I'm in a social environment where I might eat an oil dung. I try to pick out all the dumpling and a lot of the stuff that I don't want. I don't eat pasta, for example, and so on. But I mean, there may be an occasion when I slip. Most of our death and sickness is caused by these lifestyle diseases. What we eat, how we live. People don't want to walk even from their gap to a bus stop. They want to just come out, and nobody is walking. Nobody's exercising. We're eating foods that make us fat and obese. We want to have processed foods. The late Betty Finley, an iconic public health nutritionist in this region, used to say, okay, you don't have to stop eating what you like. Just change the portions. What is now peas and rice should be vegetables. What is now vegetables, a little bit of green stuff that you find on your plate, should be peas and rice. Just change the proportions. And that would be a major step towards reducing the risk we live with. Changing what is we food, what we like, what we think identifies us as Grenadians or as Caribbean people. It's not necessarily what is best for us. And the Grenada Food Nutrition Council can be enormously helpful. We want to create foods that are still attractive. We want to find ways to make what we traditionally have preferred available. But there has to be a way for us to, as my former colleague, Mrs. Finley would say, change the proportions, change the emphasis.